Legacy is valid. More so, legacy enriches the lore and deepens characterization. And you think about all the relationships that Batman has with all these characters, all the relationships they have with each other. Legacy gave us some of the most popular characters, more popular than the original in a few cases, more than a few, really. Like, you think about Hal Jordan. I mean, you got people saying that Tim Drake is the best Robin. Ghost Rider.
And the same goes with Miles Morales. He is indeed, again, Miles Morales. He's also a Spider-Man.
A legacy hero is a character, usually a superhero, that is often the descendant, relative, sidekick, or protege of an already or previously existing hero. The legacy hero inherits or adopts the original's name, power set, theme, or some combination thereof. The hero identity, when adopted by a newer hero, acts as a sort of job title, official role, or rank. A legacy hero making apparent use of some aspect of the older hero inherently implies that the younger hero was inspired by the older. It usually signals the original has given the legacy hero his blessing, though this isn't always the case. I feel like this pretty much covers it. So that's why there's so many different types of legacy character. What do you mean new legacy character?
What's the problem with the new legacy characters though? Because legacy characters are a comic book tradition.
New legacy character. What do you mean new legacy character? Are you talking about knockoff versions? Is that what you're referring to?
Okay, so you understand what a legacy character is, right?
Yes, I'm asking you for clarification. Can you answer what the question I just had?
Well, I'm trying to understand how you are asking what a legacy character is. A legacy character is simply a character.
Saying, what do you mean by new legacy character? If they're a legacy character, they wouldn't be new.
What? No, legacy characters are characters that carry on the legacy. You understand that, right?
Yes, I understand that, but if it's a legacy character, the character itself has been there and it's ingrained in comic books, as you just said. So what do you mean new?
Because there are new characters created to add on to the legacy. Please don't tell me you're this dumb.
Yeah, okay, let's address that. Because honestly, if he wasn't such a pompous dickhead and a bigot and a bully and stuff, like, I would have some sympathy for him thinking that, because it kind of does. I see where he's coming from. If you don't know any better and somebody tells you a legacy character, you might think that the legacy, well, the one that's establishing the legacy is the legacy character, right? That kind of makes sense, like on an intuitive level, if you just, but that's not what it is. It's the character that carries the legacy, not the character that creates the legacy, right? That's the way to think about it. I've got some shit. I got some shit to cover, okay? I got some stuff for you. I'm gonna feed you baby birds, don't you worry. Black Canary, yeah. Also, how is Dick Grayson, no matter who draws him, no matter, like, he's just the hottest. I'm not even gay, man. He's just fucking hot, right? Like, I guess just being named Dick, you're gonna just carry that kind of swagger. I don't know what it is, man. He's just fucking sexy. Just saying. It's the glutes. It's the glutes, yeah. I mean, I'm not gay, but I'd be gay for Dick. Yeah, so, okay, let's look at the... You guys want to know... Do you... Actually, don't, because I know several of you are going to know what it is, and I don't want you to spoil it. So we're going to talk about... Don't say it if you know it. Don't say it. The first superhero-ish that proves that it is a legacy character himself, the first. And it just goes to show that the idea of a legacy character is inherent to the superhero as a concept. I mean, look, Joe, like, everybody has their issues with stuff. I'm not saying I love all these characters or that I don't have problems with. What I'm saying is just for consistency's sake, a legacy character is valid. You may not like it. You may not like what they do with it. You may think it's dumb. You may think it's lazy or whatever it is, but like, to act like a legacy character doesn't count or something like that. So that's not really what we're talking about, is just people not liking a character or thinking certain legacy characters suck, right? But thank you. All right, so even technically the legacy character was part of superheroes before superheroes existed. What? How does that? Doesn't even make any sense. All right, so the reason is, the first legacy superhero was only kind of a superhero, Phantom. The Phantom is, and meaning the one that the audiences were introduced to originally, is a legacy character. he was, I think, the 17th or 18th or something in line in this descendant of his, like, so every, son of that, lineage for, I guess, a couple centuries at that point had been the Phantom. They called him the ghost that walks because he'd been around for, there's all the legends about him and stuff, and he'd been stopping pirates and whatnot, saving people and shit, for long ass time. And because it was so long that it couldn't possibly be guy doesn't live that long, so he must have died, and he is a ghost that walks, right? So that's the Phantom, but it's really just a guy passing it on to his sons. There's actually kind of this whole fucked up thing where they have to take this oath about how they're going to do it until they die. They're going to be the Phantom, and that they also they swear the oath that their sons are going to do it too, which is like, it's kind of messed up, man. Wow, I need to watch that again. It's probably not a very great movie, is it? But I'm gonna watch it anyway. I haven't watched. I remember seeing it in the theater, I think. But yeah, so there you go. And the reason I say he's before superheroes is because the Phantom was what you call a transitional character. So he was a transitional point between pulp heroes, right, and superheroes, because he didn't have any superpowers. He didn't have any, he just had some guns. But what he did have was the tights, the things that are now, commonly associated with superheroes, tights, underwear on the outside, right? The domino mask with the white eyes, that's pretty common. All of these things became pretty standard for a lot of superheroes. And he was the first one to do it. And I did do a video on Flash Gordon at one point where I, said that he inspired the first superheroes, but so did Phantom. He's right there with it. Oh, okay, that's right. Was he inspired by the Lone Ranger? I don't know. I'm just asking. This stuff is so fascinating to me, man, that I'm fucking 40 years old and I'm finding out these kinds of nuances that I didn't know. It's great. I love it. The Shadow. Yep. Good shit. True. You got to have that. Just unrivaled confidence. I mean, what if you get hard, yeah, they definitely, the entire Shazam family, they're all legacy characters. I mean, doesn't matter how they get the powers, doesn't it all counts, because if you start trying to whittle away at the rules for what a legacy character is, when it's just, generally someone that came after and is directly inspired or created in response to, within the canon, the original, you're going to start throwing characters off into the trash as not being valid legacy characters and stuff like that. And there are certain people that want to do that, and fuck those people. Doc Savage, because someone needs to mention him. Yeah. So there we go. That's our starting point for legacy characters in superhero stories. And this is important, okay? It's pretty important. If you don't take anything else from tonight, if you don't remember anything else, I need you to remember this. I need you to remember it, okay? You ready? The female version of Dick Grayson is Pussy Greydaughter. Okay? Drink it in. Yeah. Absorb it. Let it wash over you. Okay. As long as we're on the same page. That's as far as legacy characters that don't exist. Probably shouldn't. That's my favorite one for sure. Legacy. Just right here, we've got Batman and originally Robin, now Nightwing. Everybody knows that. And it doesn't seem like it, but Robin is a legacy character. And you know what, each one of the a lot of the characters that are now in the Bat family, right? They represent somebody for example, Jason Todd now, twice basically, that Batman has turned around, right? That just through giving a shit about them and teaching them to be better and giving them a chance. He's reformed Jason Todd twice now, basically. And then you've got a Clown Hunter. That was one of the things that got me thinking about it as well. In this the Joker War and post Joker War stuff with how he he doesn't take him to prison. You know, dude's been killing clown gang members, and he's just a kid who needs help. You know, but, you know, I'm from the era of Tim, so I got to go with Tim. But you know, that said, I think Dick Grayson is the best character of all of them. Just not, yeah, I don't know. I was getting into comics right around the same time Tim was introduced. So, but yeah, and then like you look at how, because he took in Dick and he raised him essentially as his father / brother, and Dick he's just so well adjusted compared to Batman, and then you can see where he actually is good for Batman, and that's fucking cool. Like, so yeah, I don't get people that want to shit on legacy characters, man. Legacy is valid. More so, legacy enriches the lore and deepens characterization. And you think about all the relationships that Batman has with all these characters, all the relationships they have with each other, it makes Batman seem like a little bit more realistic concept, because like, no, of course there's no way one dude could really do anything in a city that terrible and big and whatnot, but he's got all these people that, you know, work alongside him and shit, and independently, and it's just cool. And they also make him better. They keep him on the straight and narrow because he's a dude who likes to live dangerously, you know, in the dark side. Legacy gave us some of the most popular characters, more popular than the original in a few cases, more than a few, really. Like, you think about Hal Jordan. I mean, you got people saying that Tim Drake is the best Robin, so he's not even the first Robin. Ghost Rider, you know, a lot of people, at least around my age, will think of Ghost Rider. Of course she is. What are you talking about? What is your criteria here? What? Of course she is. How is she not? See, so that's something we can talk about, right? Because, I mean, technically, yeah, John Stewart, every Green Lantern Corps member is technically a legacy character in the meta sense, but like, don't ever try to argue with those characters. Don't argue past Hal Jordan. If you're trying to argue with a chud and they're trying to say that, you know, and you bring up Barry Allen, that's a good one. And then you bring up Hal Jordan, that's a good one, but don't go past Hal Jordan with the Green Lantern Corps, because in the text of the story, in the narrative, there's a reason for them to be a bunch of Green Lanterns, right? So like, that's not a good counter for trying to prove that, yeah, you know, whatever the purpose was, she was created in response to Batman. It's a legacy character, dude. Oh yeah. I mean, you got to know about Marvel. If you don't know about Marvel, what are you doing? Read, you know, The Death of Captain Marvel, and then be prepared to cry. See, Kyle Rayner is like Tim Drake with me, where like he was becoming Green Lantern, or had just become Green Lantern when I started paying attention to comics. So I didn't even know who Hal Jordan was at first. Kyle was my first Green Lantern. What about Supergirl? Yeah, we've talked about that on the Fapcast before, whenever we did the comics code, about how Frederick Wortham, in fact, had basically, you know, he flat out said in his book like some really ridiculous shit about Bruce and Dick, that basically think that nobody was thinking about this at the time, right? Like in the 50s, if you had an adult man who like literally adopted like a teen boy, and they slept in the same bed and stuff, but like they were not thinking of it in the way that, like, they're all full head to toe pajamas and stuff. Of course, you look back at it now and it's like, whoa, and it's easy to make those jokes, but like Frederick Wortham looked at it all fucking weird back then, and he was accusing it of like turning kids gay. Of course, surprise, surprise, the same old thing. No, sidekicks, counterpart, they're all of it's a legacy character, all of it. We're gonna run through a few things here. Let's start with Western animation. I'm gonna mix it up instead of going for Marvel and DC. All right, so, and a lot of this stuff I might not have seen, but I'm gonna name off some stuff here. We're just gonna kind of rattle it off to show how common legacy is, right? Avatar: The Last Airbender does legacy via reincarnation. Okay, I don't know. I'm not familiar, but all right. I do know this one. Basil Karlo is introduced as the second Clayface in the Batman. His predecessor is Ethan Bennett. The cartoon series Batman Beyond revolves entirely around the concept of legacy. Focuses on Terry taking up the Batman mantle from an aging Bruce Wayne 50 years after Batman the Animated Series. There's a Commissioner Gordon as well, in the form of his daughter and former Batgirl, Barbara. And then there's a spoiler for Batman Beyond. If you haven't seen that, I won't say it. But it gets even deeper than that. Then there's the Royal Flush Gang. The Justice League in the show plays, they have Earth's new Green Lantern is John Stewart's successor. Let's see. Batman the Brave and Bold. There's an episode where Alfred wrote a story about a future where the new Batman had to face a new Joker trained by the original to take over the mantle. Black Canary, Beast Wars, and every incarnation of Transformers since then, including several specific character homages. Beast Wars Megatron actually paid homage to this trope and a tendency to refer to the original as my namesake. Worth noting that Megatron is one of the few legacy characters who, rather than being offered the mantle, decided he wanted it and just took it. Dope. That's very Megatron. It's also worth noting the fact that Beast Wars Megatron, thanks to time travel, eventually became the very Megatron that was written about in the Covenant of Primus, the Transformer equivalent of the Bible. Beast Wars is all full of all of it there. It's a whole bunch of it. Let's see. Gargoyles. The Hunters. A family lineage of vigilantes/assassins fanatically determined to kill Demona and by extension any other gargoyle along the way. In a scene that was cut, the senior modern hunter Jason Canmore admits that his family had been at this for so long that the exact reason for the vendetta had long been forgotten. Kim Possible, I guess, it both inverted and played with the trope. With the cowardly sidekick Ron Stoppable. The Life and Times of Juniper Lee, I don't even know what that is. Miraculous Ladybug, I don't know what that is. NASCAR Racers, I didn't know that was a thing. Okay. The Smurfs. Papa Smurf turns out to be a legacy character, as the Smurf who became known as Grandpa Smurf originally went under the name Papa Smurf. Okay, so this is one of my favorite ones, although it's from a show that I don't watch anymore. This one's just fun and stupid. In South Park, an episode explained that every time Kenny dies, a new identical McCormick is born bearing his name. At the time of that episode, it had happened 52 times. It's never explained how the new Kennys age so fast. This was probably intended as a gag initially, but the subplot of the Coon versus Coon and Friends story arc strangely confirms Kenny's immortality powers into canon, instant aging and all. His parents hand-wave it by saying, "We never should have gone to that stupid cult meeting." It is established, though, that each of the babies are literal reincarnations of the original Kenny, complete with his memories, rather than simply being siblings with the same name. Do you think are the Ninja Turtles are they Splinter's legacy characters? Get back with me on that one. Star Wars Rebels. The informant known as Fulcrum. Fulcrum is a name passed down from informant to informant in the service of the Rebel Alliance. There have been 3 known Fulcrums so far. I didn't know that. So, spoiler, I guess, maybe, I don't know, but like the 3 different characters that have gone by the name Fulcrum as informants are Agent Callus, Cassian Andor, and Ahsoka Tano. Crazy. Shredder in the 2003 Ninja Turtles. The title of Troll Hunter from Troll Hunters. Venture Brothers. That's a good one. That's a good one. Lots of them in that. It's all over the place in Young Justice, obviously. Just too many to list here. But yeah, there's a lot of them. So that's Western animation. I was getting there. That is one of them. So let's go to live action TV legacy characters. The Amazing Extraordinary Friends. I don't know what that's about, but Captain Extraordinary. Then there's the Arrowverse. It doesn't avert the trope. It actually became a part of the original show's DNA to introduce a character who serves as a precursor to the later, more iconic version of the character, while later shows handle it their own way. There's just a lot of them in the Arrowverse, but Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Buffy is but one of the generations of Slayers stretching back probably to the Stone Age. Each time a Slayer is killed, a new one's power is awakened and she replaces the one before her. After Buffy was revived by CPR, which counted as a temporary death, the new Slayer, Kendra, was called, and the cycle continued with her, with another Slayer, Faith, taking Kendra's place after her death. This resulted in two Slayers existing at the same time, aside from Buffy's temporary death at the end of Season 5 / beginning Season 6 for most of the series. The cycle ends in the Season 7 finale, where many potential Slayers were activated around the world at once. In the Season 8 comics, other Slayers continue to be called activated at different times, though this stopped at the end of that series when magic disappeared from that dimension, and only the current Slayers were left. Frey, which takes place centuries later, has the protagonist become a half-Slayer. She shared her power with her twin brother. Okay. Doctor Who. You guys know about Doctor Who. There's a lot of it in there. The Flash, 1990. Okay. Wow. Human Target. Kamen Rider. I don't know these things. I'm not familiar. Legend of the Seeker. Like, it's everywhere. Star Trek. All right. This is interesting. The various incarnations of the Enterprise NCC 1701. In fact, many ships in the Star Trek The Original Series have counterparts in The Next Generation, though not all are similar to the originals in design. The Enterprise 1701 is widely assumed to be the only ship in Starfleet to have its serial number recycled consistently, which is a testament to the importance of Kirk's 5-year mission and subsequent voyages in Federation history. At least one possible future, and probably all of them, has a ship named Enterprise with the serial number NCC 1701J. In this particular future, a Universe-class ship in operation in the 26th century, which means that serial number has been carried on for 300 years and borne by 11 different vessels. That's fucking legacy, baby. We all do. We carry it in our hearts. You know? It's right here.
Though infinity beckons, I must leave behind my very heart. I've seen galaxies crumble and new suns a-borning, but in every star, in every sun, I see her face. Where soars the Silver Surfer, there must he soar alone.